If you're considering buying a SIM from 1pMobile, you might be wondering whether they're any good, whether they offer good value for money, and how their network performs. In this video, we've reviewed 1pMobile to see if they're worth buying a SIM-only deal from. But before we begin, if you're looking for a new smartphone or SIM-only deal, make sure to come to greensmartphones.com to find the cheapest prices. If you're after a new phone, just use the search bar to find the device you want, and then you can compare the cheapest deals on this device, no matter which network you want to use. And if you want a SIM-only deal, just click SIM-only up here, and you can see if 1pMobile offers good value compared to other SIM-only deals on the market at the moment. One pMobile is a simple, no-frills SIM-only provider. They have a range of data-only SIMs, from 2GB up to unlimited data, with unlimited UK calls and texts included. Compared to some other SIM-only providers, 1pMobile is really basic. There's no smartphone contracts available, and not really any extras you can get with their deals, or other inclusive benefits, although 5G is included on all of their deals, as well as roaming, which we'll discuss a bit later. Another slightly unusual thing about 1pMobile is the family plans that they offer. Basically how it works is, you start with an unlimited data SIM, and then you get a discount for buying them in bulk. This can be quite useful if you need a lot of SIMs for your family, and you want everyone to have unlimited data. There's no contracts on any of 1pMobile's deals. You can't lock in for 12, 18 or 24 months to save money like you can on some other networks. But the upside is, 1pMobile is really flexible. You can leave the contract at any time. As a small mobile network, 1pMobile resells mobile data, phone calls and texts from EE, meaning if you buy a 1p SIM, you're actually on the EE network. The really good thing about EE is they have the best 4G coverage of any of the big 4 networks. Often you'll find, in the countryside especially, EE has coverage where other networks don't. The downside to EE though is, their 5G speeds aren't the best. While they do have really good 5G coverage, 3 and Vodafone offer faster 5G speeds on average. You can see here, according to this report from Ookla, which is the company that runs speedtest.net, EE has the 3rd fastest 5G speeds in the UK, a decent bit slower than both Vodafone and O2. And in Birmingham and Manchester, they're actually pretty bad, with slower average speeds than O2. What this means is, 1pMobile's coverage, especially when it comes to 4G, is really good, especially if you often go to quite remote areas, or you live in a small village or something like that, and often struggle to get even 4G speeds. But if you live in a major city and have a 5G enabled phone, you might want to consider another network that offers faster 5G speeds. In saying that though, you should be able to get good 5G from EE, and therefore from 1pMobile, in most urban and suburban areas. It's just, their speeds aren't as fast as 3 or Vodafone on average. One pMobile's roaming is pretty good, especially in the EU. With a lot of other companies, since Brexit, they've introduced what they call fair usage limits when roaming in the EU. For example, with 3, if you have a 100GB monthly data limit, you're only able to use 12GB of that in certain European countries, even though you're paying for 100GB, and it's the same 12GB limit, no matter what data plan you have. 1pMobile is much better than that, at least in the EU. There's 46 different countries where you can basically use your whole allowance overseas. You can see here, in Belgium for example, you can use your mobile data just like in the UK, even if you have a fairly large allowance, and it's the same in most common EU destinations. Outside of the EU though, things can get a bit expensive, and 1pMobile doesn't offer any roaming add-ons you can choose to include. For example, in Turkey, you'll pay 20p per megabyte, so if you used a gigabyte of data over like a week-long holiday or something like that, it would cost you £200. What some other providers do is offer a bundle you can choose to buy to give you more international data in further afield countries, but 1pMobile doesn't offer that at the moment. So basically, 1pMobile's roaming is really good in the EU, in the 46 different countries they cover, but outside of that, using your allowance abroad is really expensive, so you'll probably end up having to buy a local SIM card if you go somewhere like America, Turkey, or New Zealand. So to see if 1pMobile offers good value for money, let's compare their deals to other providers on our comparison site, greensmartphones.com. So let's say we want a 100GB data limit on a 30-day contract, which with 1pMobile costs £15 a month at the moment. So let's come to the SIM-only deals page on greensmartphones.com, and we'll put the contract length down to a maximum of 6 months. Then we'll change the data limit to about that 100GB range. So the cheapest option is Smarty, who are offering this for £12 a month at the moment, a bit cheaper than 1pMobile. And then the next most expensive is £20 or £30 a month if you want to use VOXI or 1pMobile. So in this case, 1pMobile does offer pretty good value for money. If you want unlimited data with them, that's £25 a month, but you can get that for £15 a month with ID Mobile at the moment. So 1pMobile isn't the cheapest option on the market, but they might be worth paying a bit more for if you want the 4G coverage on offer from the EE network, because most of these other companies don't use EE. It's quite rare for them to resell their access to another company. For example, ID Mobile is on the 3 network, it's the same with Smarty, and VOXI is using Vodafone. Another strength of 1pMobile is their customer service. Compared to most other mobile networks on Trustpilot, their ratings are really good. And from looking through the negative reviews that are on here, there aren't really any patterns we can see that are concerning. Although, in saying that, it would be good to see 1pMobile respond to their negative reviews more often, so that when people do have issues, they can get this escalated and have the problem resolved, which doesn't seem to be happening from the negative reviews they are receiving. But the good thing is, they don't have many negative reviews about their service or about their customer support. It's mostly complaints about recent pricing changes. So if you've had a bad experience with a bigger network, like 3, which offshores its customer service, 1pMobile might be worth looking at. So should you buy a SIM-only deal from 1pMobile? We think they're worth considering if you want the really good 4G coverage on offer from the EE network. While their 5G speeds aren't the fastest, the coverage on offer from 1pMobile through EE is hard to beat, especially in the countryside. Also, their customer service and European roaming are quite good. Plus, their prices are generally pretty competitive. Remember, to see if 1pMobile offers good deals when you're watching this, click the link in the description to our comparison site and come to our SIM-only deals page. Then filter by the different networks you want to consider, the contract length you want, and how much monthly data you need, and you can see if 1pMobile offers good value for money compared to alternatives like ID Mobile, VOXI, or Smarty. And if you have any questions about 1pMobile, leave a comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.